Greetings, cartoon crew. We are your hosts, Ryan Murphy
and Nicholas Costa.
This is Where'd the Time Go? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Where'd the Time Go. On today's very awesome episode, we will be covering Wild Kratts and the good old Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. We will be beginning with Wild Kratts. This, for me personally, speaking for myself, this is a very awesome show that I actually grew up with and hold very near and dear to my heart. Nico, what do you think about Wild Kratts? What are your experiences with it, just in general?
It was a pretty cool show, man. I would watch it like it was on PBS Kids. It was on PBS Kids, and then I would always be like, "Yo, that's so cool. I wonder how they turn into animals and not get hurt." I really grew up with it, to be honest, and I learned that turtles were reptiles from that show. So
you didn't know that?
No.
You didn't?
Bro, I was like 6, bro.
I definitely knew that at 6. I don't know if that's an excuse. Wait, were you like 6, 7 maybe?
Yeah, I was around there.
Yeah. I think what you said, that kind of speaks to, like, it's an awesome show, don't get me wrong, but like when you grow up with it and you watch it so much and you remember it so vividly, you can kind of start to point out the little nitpicks and critiques, and like piggybacking off of what you said, it almost is like insanely unrealistic. That's not even funny. Like, you watch a superhero movie and it's like Iron Man or whatever, like he got a suit, like,
I mean, that's understandable.
It's unrealistic, like it's sci-fi, but this is just genuine, like just out of this world.
How do you get a disc? You put it in your chest and you become an eagle.
Yeah.
Do you know the amount of energy that takes? You would explode. Either you would explode or you would catch on fire.
Yeah.
Would that not happen? And yeah, and that was going on for like 7 straight seasons, and an 8th one is coming.
Yeah, that's true. 7 straight seasons, and actually, when you look at the data, like pretty successful show, like all around, like.
Yeah. Like
yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Didn't you say one of them, like one?
It was 9.9.
Yeah.
For reasons we cannot state, but.
All right. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know, bro. Like the Christmas special, but
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong.
But
if we wanna speak a little bit about perhaps the actual, like, when it started and whatnot. First aired January 3rd, 2011. So
it's not even an old show either.
Yeah, and
I think they've kept the same animation style for the longest time, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right. I do remember one episode though that's so weird. Like if you look it up, there's literally an episode, like a polar bear episode. The animation style is just straight up different. Like, really? Randomly, yeah, maybe the guy was like sick that day and they had to get in another guy. I swear every single episode has that same consistent, charming animation style that you love from Wild Kratts, and then that one episode, like, I remember it vividly. It just looks so stupid.
I don't remember that.
So
but
he called out sick.
I think what was cool was when they would like turn into actual people and then tell us random facts about like different animals. Like, oh, the anteater can stick out its tongue 25 inches, and then like I don't even know. I was so engaged with that. We're not gonna repeat that past event.
Yeah.
If you want to do a quick generalization of what the show is about, basically there's this big turtle ship. For those who are not familiar, called the Tortuga, and there's 5 people in that ship, and. There's Chris, Martin, Aviva, and I don't remember the other 2.
There is Koki and Koki. That's That's a bit of a funny name, kind of. And Jimmy was kind of like lazy. Like he just ate pizza. He didn't do squat.
I don't remember him. But basically what they would do, the Tortuga would land somewhere and they would see an animal and be like, yo, I want to become that animal. And then they get like the DNA, I guess, of the animal. And then put it into this little...
Their baddie of a scientist.
I guess, bro. And then they make a disc and put it into like this specialized vest kind of, and then they turn into that animal, which I don't know how they didn't explode or catch on fire, but it was a pretty simple show.
Yeah, well, I also think we should kind of touch on the fact that like most kids shows like are literally just like, oh, like, yay, it's all merry and stuff, you know, like all like happy all the time. But like there's genuine conflict in this show. And I think despite the fact that Wild Kratts, like, as we said, proved to be so successful, I think it would be necessary for us to touch on the fact that if you look back in its origins, like before it came out in 2011, with the way they marketed it, it was meant to be a successor to Zaboomafoo, which was the original Kratts Brothers series. And I think due to that, it was expected to be a flop because while it sounds great, like you have Zaboomafoo, which kids love, now we have a new, more modern, more fresh series from the Kratts Brothers that they can move on to.
Yeah.
I think despite that seeming like so great, it ended up actually being so insanely different from Zaboomafoo and like the style of everything that was expected to be like a big flaw about it. But I mean, it defied the odds. It's a great show.
It made it, bro.
Yeah, it's a show that like I said in the beginning, I'm very, very nostalgic about. You know, I had birthday parties based off of this. I had like creature power suits. I had a sick Wild Kratts cake.
Really?
Yeah.
I had an Octonauts party, but we'll get into that another episode.
Yeah. Honestly, it's close enough because you know it's animals and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a lot of fun memories from Wild Kratts, and maybe that makes me a little biased. But
yeah, it's alright.
I think objectively they did a very good job with this show.
You're right though.
This show presented like genuine conflicts that really like differ from the stereotypical kind of merry kind of, you know, children's show. Like they had some very solid like villains from the start with some like great like character development and like great additions to the plot, honestly, and it added this level of conflict. And like I'm not gonna pretend it's Avengers, but it's still pretty cool that you had like these villains and they all had their own little gig. Like we could kind of dive into that real quick. You had Zach Varmatek, who is the main iconic villain from the franchise, and you know he was all about this like penthouse kind of nice like robotics, like turning animals into robots, all about the future and like pretty nasty future. Obviously the Wild Kratts team were passionate about creating a nicer future, but he wanted the exact opposite of what they wanted.
Yeah. And then a flying bird man would come in to spoil his plans, bro. Like I don't quite know how that works.
And then you had Gourmand, who would cook the animals. It actually is very smart. I always thought this, like even when I was a wee little lad, like when I was like 8 years old, like I had like these like philosophical I had like these thoughts like, wow, each villain represents a different way in which in the real, actual, genuine world that animals are being harmed. Like animals for tech, like animals being tested or whatever in products.
I was not thinking about that at 6 years old, bro.
No, like I genuinely did, I swear. Well, I've always kind of loved animals more than I feel like the average 6-year-old. Like I used to want to be like a vet and stuff. So I was thinking like gourmand like represented like the animals being like poached for food and hunted. And then they had Danita Donata, who is the fashionista, and she would like kill animals for like fur coats or whatever. And then they added a new one towards the end, Paisley Paver, who paved the habitat, so that represents like habitat loss. So it's actually pretty cool, like
a real reflection towards the real world.
It really represented. And speaking of representing the real world, Wild Kratts is just all about conservation. And I think it's so cool what they managed to perfect with this show. People think of conservation and education about animals like, I'm not saying people think that's boring as a kid, but it's still like the idea of like having a biology class or whatever and learning about like this stuff, like it's boring, but they made animals exciting. Like this was our Iron Man at that age, you know what I'm saying? Like they made it exciting, and they added it on these tech and stuff like the Tortuga and the creature power suits. They added that all in to kind of like revolutionize and the idea of making kids excited about saving animals. It makes you excited, and it's not boring or it's not like a boring stereotypical educational like.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and, PBS Kids did that a lot.
Yeah, and Wild Kratts, bro. You can say Wild Kratts was a pretty cool show about animals. And speaking of animals, we have Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yes, we have the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
The legend, the man, the myth, the legend. And you could even say
childhood.
The face of cartoons of Disney.
That's bold.
Yes.
But maybe true though.
That's not a crazy thing to say though.
He made a statement that's so true that even his ops praised him.
That's not even a crazy thing to say though. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse might be top 3 cartoons of all time.
That I may have to agree with. I think objectively.
No, it's just a fact. And that's not even a crazy thing to say.
Yeah.
But Mickey Mouse Clubhouse might be top 3 cartoons ever. Cause like, name one little kid that you haven't seen watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Honestly, I think that was in every kid's holy trinity of shows. Like every kid knows about it.
I would dream about Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
So iconic. Yeah. I had a Mickey Mouse birthday actually.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was. I honestly couldn't tell you. I think it was like my first or second birthday.
Yo, bro?
We had like a
Wild
mini,
Kratts
like,
birthday. Mickey
Wild
Mouse
Kratts.
Clubhouse
That
birthday?
was like I had like 3 Wild Kratts birthdays.
Oh my
But with the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse party, we literally had like, I mean, obviously it seemed bigger to me. Like when I was like super tiny, it seemed like a mansion. But I remember we had this little like tiny like foam like Mickey Mouse like literal clubhouse play structure in the living room. And like from my memory, from that point of view, like today, it still feels like a freaking playground. Like I remember it feeling so massive. That's like the main vivid thing about that experience for me. So yeah, Mickey Mouse, big player in many childhoods.
Part of the reason is that big of an influence is because it aired for 10 years.
Yeah,
like 2006 to 2016, and it re-aired. Like,
that was
aired
like
again.
That was like our time. That was literally in the path with us at this age right now.
Yeah, but like
it literally flew through the path of our time specifically. We got so lucky when it comes to that.
It just kept on airing because it was still great, and it was created by a guy named Bob. I didn't know a Bob can do something good. But it only had 5 seasons.
Wait, what's your beef with Bob's?
Yo, alright.
Well, technically it's Walt Disney created the character.
Well, yeah, but Bob just I guess he expanded on the dream, I guess.
Yeah.
But
they don't they don't still air it, I guess. That's crazy. Imagine the kids of today. Like
no, they be watching Skibbity Toilet though,
these
bro.
These new Disney Junior shows and stuff.
Yeah. But there was only 5 seasons over 10 years.
Yeah, wow. 5 seasons. Okay, so that's pretty I guess pretty spread out.
Yeah, but how many episodes a season do you have to have for a 10-year show? It's only 5 seasons. Like, what?
A lot.
Yeah. It wasn't for me. It wasn't really educational, because it was really just like, before I gained consciousness, I was just watching like a cartoon, like Mickey Mouse, and then it was like supposed to promote adventure and like friendship.
Yeah, and companionship and stuff. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like, at that age, it was so, like, I don't even know, like, why did we like it? Was it the characters? Like, when we think about it, like...
I think it's the colors. I think it's the colors and hot dog, hot nigga, they don't, right? Like...
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that song. We gotta talk about that song. So iconic.
That was like...
And the actual main intro was also awesome.
Hot dog song, bro, that was like a certified hood classic. I don't know why they were obsessed with hot dogs, though. But like...
Yeah.
And then there was a continuation called Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus. Me personally, I've never heard of that. This is the first time, like, you bringing it up now. Yeah. I have never heard of that. Wait, hold on. Let's search it up real fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have it pulled up here. It seems the same. It's just the graphics are a bit better. It's like more colorful.
Who is this character? There's like a little Mickey Mouse face that was
maybe
he
that's
in the
Mickey
original?
Mouse.
No, no, it's like a floating like.
Oh, that's probably just like a
his sidekick. That's his little.
That's probably his sidekick.
That's probably an update with. Oh, Toodles.
I don't
I remember. That's Toodles. That's Toodles. Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Dang.
Wow. I guess you could say, where'd all the time go? that was.
All right. Yo, time out, Brett. But yeah, this is like it looks like a really colorful show, and they have new music on it.
New music?
I think.
Yeah. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But
yeah,
I don't know, because
I don't know about this.
The original music was so like iconic and like honestly perfect. I didn't really know it needed to be updated. Obviously, it's great that you have the newer version, it says looks like 2025 version, newer color graphics, bring in the newer generation. I mean, I'm sure
and there's a live show.
Live show?
Yeah, there's a live show.
I'm sure like the newer generation, like I have a 1-year-old cousin and stuff. It's a great idea, especially with it ending air in 2016, with that already being so long ago. Already 10 years ago at this point, which is insane. Like, time really flies. But yeah, now you got this new opportunity to bring back the new generation into what was a classic from our childhood, bring in this newer audience and still please generations to come. So I think, honestly, there's nothing wrong with the idea of adding Mickey Mouse Plus. This is my first time hearing about it, and honestly, it just seems like a great idea all around to, please new audiences.
I agree. It looks the same.
Yeah, but we have to
see how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah.
It says the original Clubhouse has 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and 9,000 square feet.
That's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Yeah. Like, it honestly looked like just kind of like a basketball court size.
Yeah. Yo,
they got it bougie up in the Clubhouse.
And it can flip around into a dance, like a DJ thing.
Yeah.
Yo, that's cool.
So, I think we kind of touched upon the plot a little bit. That's something that for me, I never really understood what the actual message was. Like, I just watched it because it was just fun, but I guess like looking back on it,
it's more friendship.
Maybe just to be a good person and stuff, but it feels like pretty surface level in terms of cartoon plots. Like, there wasn't really so much of an objective.
It's
like
one of those
Wild
just,
Kratts. It was just fun.
Stereotypical, like, just background noise for your kid type cartoon, just for colors and for music and stuff like that. Because there wasn't really good lyrics for a hot dog. It was just like hot dog, hot diggity dog, and it was just like some weird dance moves with their legs jumping up and down.
But it worked though. Like
it worked. It entertained the whole like 20-year span of kids.
Yeah, I think something that I really want to touch on with this show specifically that stood out to me. Not much stood out to me beside obviously the basic stuff like the covers, the awesome song, the awesome characters and whatnot. But one thing stood out to me specifically, and that was, I don't know if it was Mickey Mouse or Dora that started it, but I think if we want to talk about one of the core things about this show that maybe gets sometimes overlooked is that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse was the beginning of this stereotypical sort of cartoon rhetorical questions that they would say to the audience. Like, hey, do you want to be my friend? Do you want to come to the clubhouse?
Like that. No, that's...
Was that Dora that started that? Because now
Dora
that's become...
definitely, like, where's Swiper? And it's right behind her.
And it's always like looking back on it, everyone's always like, oh my gosh, that's so like stupid. Like obviously it's so obvious, but like it's a kid's show.
It's more engaging. It feels like it's more engaging complain about and that. Stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a great effect that was sort of pioneered by these older shows that now is being like stereotypical. Like it's a big part of cartoons. Like, did they start it? Honestly, I think they were one of them.
They probably did. Because you don't really see that anymore, like, with cartoons.
Yeah, because it's so associated, and sometimes it's so associated, yet overlooked at the same time. Like, I feel like that's something that not really many people talk about, but I think without it, it would feel almost naked in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's something so associated with it that we wouldn't have even known we lost it if we didn't have, or you know what I mean? Like we didn't learn to kind of appreciate.
It's something we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, but Mickey Mouse, I just recently found out that there was an actual point to each episode. It's always something related to friends, but they never executed it well because it was always just like someone getting kidnapped or someone getting lost or someone losing their favorite toy or something. So it wasn't well executed because I feel like the kid, me included, I was probably just like focused on the colors and all the songs and stuff.
Yeah, it was like at that age we don't really care too much about the story, so it still moved the point along. Because I think if we're gonna compare it to the first show covered in this episode, Wild Kratts, that makes sense for there to be an actual story that's well fleshed out and plot development and character development and whatnot, because it's moving up the age demographic to like 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, moving up the ladder. Versus Mickey Mouse, we're watching at 2 years old. We still associate these fond memories with it and love it so much for its iconic nostalgia.
And
that we don't even care about the lack of this
substance in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great. If we want to kind of wrap this up, like, obviously there are those minor flaws, minor nitpicks, but when you're
at the end of the day,
you love the show, you love the colors, the music.
At the end of the day, like, it's a great show. Like,
absolutely,
you're 3 years old watching cool colors, singing hot dog, nigga dog. And then
if I had a nickel for every time you said that in this saying that in this podcast, I'd have 3 nickels. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Which it's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened 3 times.
Alright.
Okay. Mickey Mouse is great. Yeah. We love it.
8 out of 10 show.
And I'm glad they did the reboot. I never knew about this reboot, and I never knew it was needed. But upon researching it, I think
it's a great step for Disney.
Overall, looking back upon it, we had Wild Kratts to begin the episode. Wild Kratts is a great show, and it's a great way to get kids excited about animals while differing from the stereotypical boring aspect of education. It's entertaining, it has plot development, it has character development, and conflict, which kind of differs it from the stereotypical kids show. Wild Kratts is a great time and a great animal-based story.
On the other hand, Mickey Mouse might be the stereotypical show that Ryan is talking about. But it's okay, because looking back at it, Mickey Mouse was a huge part of our lives.
We have been your hosts, Ryan Murphy
and Nico.
We hope you've enjoyed Where'd the Time Go?